you want to run a D&D game, but starting at a blank page is just terrifying, right? It's the biggest hurdle for new dungeon masters. You feel this pressure to create an entire world, a mind-blowing plot, and a cast of unforgettable characters, all from scratch. Well, what if I told you you don't have to? What if, in the next 10 minutes, you and I could build a complete D&D adventure together? I'm talking about a compelling story, a cursed object, and even a mini dungeon. And we're going to do it with nothing more than a couple of dice rolls. No experience needed, no creative genius required. We are going to turn that intimidating blank page into a ready-to-play adventure, right here, right now. Let's do it. Every great D&D story kicks off with a problem. For ours, we'll use a classic hook. A strange blight is killing the crops in a remote village, and the locals are on the brink of starvation. This is a perfect starting point because it's urgent, it affects a whole community, and it gives your players an immediate reason to care. Maybe they're just passing through, or maybe they were hired as heroes. The stakes are crystal clear. Find out what's causing the blight, or these people are going to starve. So, what's the cause? A mad wizard? A demon? Some weird natural event? This is where the creative paralysis usually kicks in. But instead of agonizing over it, we're going to let the dice decide. Let me introduce you to your new best friend, the random table. Random tables are the secret weapon of DMs everywhere because they break down huge, scary questions into small, manageable dice rolls. They inject pure chaos and surprise into your story and force you to connect ideas you've never think of on your own. Seriously, the pros use this all the time, not as a crutch, but as a spark for creativity. The Dungeon Master's Guide has a ton of this, especially in Appendix A. It's a gold mine. But you can also just make your own, which is exactly what we're going to do. We've decided a cursed object is causing this blight, but what is it and why is it cursed? Let's whip up a couple of quick tables and roll a d6 for each. First, the object itself. Let's say on a d6 it's either a weapon, a piece of jewelry, a statue, a book, a musical instrument, or a simple stone or totem. Alright, I'm rolling a d6 and I got a 3. So, the source of our blight is a cursed statue. Instantly, our story has more substance. This isn't just some vague magical problem, it's tied to physical thing the players can actually find and deal with. Now, what's the deal with the curse? Let's make another table for its origin. Let's say it's either it marks the grave of a vengeful spirit. It was used in a failed ritual and is leaking corrupt energy. It's a prison for an ancient evil deity. It's a relic of a forgotten god of decay. It was a gift from a demon meant to slowly poison the land, or it was made by dying druid to get revenge on the people who destroyed their grove. I'll roll again, and it's a 4. A relic of a forgotten god of decay. Oh, this is pure gold. Suddenly our adventure has history and lore. It's not just a random evil statue, it's a lost piece of a dead religion, a forgotten power that's seeping back into the world and rotting it from inside out. With just 2 dice rolls, we've gone from a generic blight to a specific, flavorful quest. The village of Oakenhaven is starving because a hidden statue nearby, a relic of a forgotten god of decay, is poisoning the very soil. See how easy that was? We have a clear goal: find and cleanse or destroy the statue. Now that we have our villain or our villainous object, we need to figure out where it's hidden. But before we build our dungeon, if you're finding this method helpful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I post more videos like this to help you run incredible D&D games with way less stress. Okay, now let's build a lair. So, where is this cursed statue? It's not really D&D without a dungeon crawl, is it? But we don't need some 50-room mega dungeon. For a quick adventure, a simple 3-act structure is all you need. An entrance with a challenge, a middle room with a puzzle or clue, and the final chamber with the objective. We could use the DMG to flesh this out, but to keep this moving, we could just use the logic of our story. First, the location. Since the statue is a relic, it would probably be in an old place of worship. Let's say there are some crumbling ruins in the Whisperwood forest near the village. A place the locals are too scared to go. Perfect, that's our dungeon. The first room is the entrance and should have a challenge. The heroes find it, they push through ancient vine-choked doors and step into a crumbling antechamber. What's the first thing they run into? We need a challenge. Let's make a quick D4 table. A simple mechanical trap, an environmental hazard, a guardian monster, or a riddle or a puzzle. I'll roll a D4, and it's a 3. A guardian monster. Now, to match our theme of decay, this can't just be any old goblin. Let's use something that feels connected to the blight. How about a few twig blights? Their woody bodies are twisted and corrupted by the statue's fall magic. As the party enters, they claw their way out of the dirt floor to defend the temple. This encounter immediately enforces the theme of this adventure. So, the next room should have a clue and a puzzle. After dealing with the blights, the players find the second room. This is our chance to give them a clue about what they're up against. Let's say this was a hall of devotion. On the far wall is a faded mural of a cloaked, antlered figure holding a scythe, with crops withering at its feet. This is our forgotten god of decay. The players won't know its name, but they'll see that this isn't just some random curse. It's something ancient and divine. To make it interactive, let's say the door to the final chamber is magically sealed. In the mural, the god is pointing at a wilting black rose. Around the room are several stone basins, each with a different symbol. To open the door, the players have to perform a small ritual that mirrors the god's theme, like pouring water into the basin marked with a decay symbol that matches the rose. It's a simple thematic puzzle that flows directly from the story. The final room should be the climax. The door groans open. The players enter the final sanctum. The air is cold and heavy with the smell of rot. In the center of the room, on a stone pedestal, is the source of the village problems, a small obsidian statue of the antlered god. It seemed to drink the light from the room, and the ground around it is gray and dead. Maybe one last guardian, a much larger creature made of blighted earth and roots, animates to protect the statue. Or perhaps the challenge is the room itself. The closer they get, the more the statue's aura drains their strength, forcing them to act fast. Once they reach it, they have a choice. Do they smash it and risk releasing whatever energy is trapped inside? Or do they try to cleanse it with holy water or a divine spell? The choice is theirs, and either path could have a really interesting consequences. And there you have it. In about 10 minutes, we've built a complete ready-to-run D&D adventure from basically nothing. Let's recap. The heroes arrive in the starving village of Oakenhaven and hear about a mysterious blight. Following clues into the Whisperwood, they'll find the ruins of a forgotten temple. Inside, they'll fight off corrupted monsters, solve a puzzle based on a mural of a forgotten god of decay, and finally confront the cursed statue causing the blight. They can save the village and become local legends. We went from a blank page to a full story with a beginning, middle, and end. We've got a great hook, a unique villainous object, a themed dungeon, and a climatic choice. And we did all this by letting a few dice rolls spark our imaginations. This is just a framework. Now you can sprinkle in the details, give the tavern keeper a name, describe the creepy look of the statue, But the hard work, that's already done. The structure is solid. So, what are you waiting for? Grab some dice, sketch out a few tables, and see what story you create. You don't need to be a veteran DM to run a great game. You just need to be willing to start. Let me know in the comments what kind of adventure you cook up. Now, go play some D&D.